calling me criminal, pirate. I'm not like that. What we see and the reality is that the Niger Delta still looks like a conflict.
They can stop it. You know it. But I tell you, they are all hungry. They are part of the business.
The export line, they are the target. The refineries, they are the target.
Nigeria, 150 million inhabitants, more than 500 oil fields, an annual income of around 50 billion euros. It all began in 1956 when the first reserves were found. Exploited by the world's biggest companies is a symbol of repression, poverty, and war. On February 4th, 2011, just 2 days after our arrival in Nigeria, read in the press that one of the rebels combating the oil companies has given the authorities an ultimatum. His name is John Togo. I managed to reach him by telephone.
That is another big strategy to the government to pay attention. Not pay attention, we need to kidnap also. When you are coming, maybe to attack you, and I will not guarantee your life.
Since November 2010, the fighting has intensified between the army and the rebels. As we try to organize our meeting with John, we decide to visit this village.
There is a gunboat there. When you get there, they will check what you carry. Maybe you want to pass to anywhere, you have to surrender your... And it is 7:30. You are not allowed to pass that area. So we don't want that kind of things in our own area.
After just half an hour, we hit the first blockade, and filming is not easy.
Ayakurumo. Don't worry.
Every quarter of an hour, there's another checkpoint. At the third, we have to turn round. As testimony to the army's attack here, only a few photos remain. The bombings killed 11 people and wounded around 50 others.
The Niger Delta still looks like a conflict zone because even though there are no oil pipelines being blown up and people are being harassed, there's all sorts of extortions going on. Imagine a local villager or trader in the Niger Delta going from one town to the other by police, by JTF soldiers. That is completely unacceptable.
What are the reasons that have led to the Nigerian people taking arms? I decide to begin the investigation in Yenagoa. The trees I can see from my window, I'm told, hide the biggest oil slick in the history of oil. Pipeline leak occurred on the site of the Italian company Agi after a 45-minute drive along the Delta's rough roads to be welcomed by angry villagers.
Well, on Friday, I saw a column of smoke. You can see that's plantain farm. The farms are very close. These are farming environment. What we are seeing here is a regular thing in the Niger Delta, and sometimes it is as a result of sabotage. So you can see that that place is really degraded. And if you go further, you see more of it.
Morris has been tracking the infractions committed by the foreign companies.
You go meet that jeep with all these people, no balance, no nothing, no compensation, no nothing. If you go my community now, you see this road, we don't ride to Aji, make them do road and bridge. So somebody to come here and come and explain nonsense.
So you also suspect that contractors...
When we see the way, because there's no negotiation, no nothing, so sometimes we suspected them.
It's a business and it's
a business.
It's a political system they have
and the
formed in this line. And we need hospital.
We need road and hospital in our community.
The history of black gold here dates back to the 50s, when the first well was dug barely 10 kilometers away. On each site, Morris takes water samples. Analysis has revealed that the water drunk by the villagers contains 165 times the quantity of aluminium authorized. Before Shell arrived, palm oil was made here, but the oil industry has completely choked the environment.
The environment speaks for itself. The Niger Delta environment is the most polluted environment and degraded environment in the world. Fire is still on. The water resource for the community people, it has been polluted. The environment is known for series of spills.
Like all the oil companies, Ajip is obliged to work in partnership with the NNPC.
The federal government has share in joint venture. That's what we know. Shell pipeline, Chevron pipeline is written. When you go, you know, and the community people will identify and tell you this pipeline belongs to this company. And that is why the government is also not acting.
Every year for 25 years, the oil dumped in the Niger Delta has been the equivalent of the Exxon Valdez disaster. It's impossible to approach the American company's facilities, but we managed to bypass the military blockades with the locals' help.
But we were trying to beat the resistance of the JTF. A checkpoint that have been placed by JTF over there. You know, we are passing through the Ondo Road, who we are indirectly fighting. So whatever they are doing now is the dictate of the oil company.
Sekelewu, Midwest's hometown of around 20,000 people. On arriving, we comply with the local welcome traditions. Midwest introduces us to the elders who have to authorize our stay here. The negotiations over, we follow the riverbank, an important economic resource for the region. Today, everything has disappeared.
Salt water came in as a result of the coming in of the the oil company. Salt water came in through the Atlantic Ocean and destroyed all the economic trees that were here. And this has left all the elderly people, all the youth to be jobless.
Except patience. To eke out a living, she sells water that she fetches every morning from the foot of the oil rig. For a 20-litre canister, the locals pay €1. And yet they say the water is impure and causes dysentery and hepatitis. We take advantage of the dawn light to get closer to the American company's installations.
Chevron knows that they are the people that cause the problem. That when you get to NNPC, there are certain areas that they wouldn't want to ask questions.
After just 24 hours here, the military is already aware of our presence. Midwest tells us that a Navy patrol is on the lookout in the channel around the platform. We slip through 2 surveillance rounds and go ashore, where a local villager is to escort us. We hike the last few kilometers on foot, under the cover of the forest. We mustn't alert the Chevron security service to our presence here.
Yeah, they're fetching water.
Not far away, a flare stack burns gas from the...
You see the gas flaring? But the earlier stage they told us there's no gas flaring. Go up, there's a black smoke. And that black smoke is all fell down, and you see some black particles inside the water. You cannot drink it because of this gas flaring. You can see there's no land and there's no... In fact, everywhere we are dying. We are dying.
Pollution. And yet the country exports almost 2 million barrels a day at $100 a barrel. So where does the money go?
Generated from oil exploration in the Niger Delta, according to the statistics, 1 to 5% of the population of Nigeria. For the people of the Niger Delta, they can see the oil money in Abuja built a brand new swanky state federal capital. So it was built with oil money. But you will also see few individuals, billionaires, Nigerians, oil money, really rich. Oil money.
One of these politicians has been the governor of Bayelsa State for the past 4 years, and oil revenues of hundreds of millions of euros every year, for whom the army deploys around 30 men from the Joint Task Force. His name is Timipre Silva.
So when the production is at its peak, we earn something like $1 billion, or not up to $1 billion, but maybe about $800 million in a year. But in fact, I've been very mindful of that because I believe that you have to look after your people first before yourself. We will probably be the first state in Nigeria. We also decided to work on water supply in the community.